You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Sci-Fi Weekly, and today we're going to review Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yes, today we're going to talk about the Clone Wars, starting with the Clone Wars miniseries that started off right after Attack of the Clones, like literally. It started right where the movie ended. I really liked they did that. It was great planning, and it was definitely needed because, like, you know, Attack of the Clones didn't really lead up to Revenge of the Sith that well.
No.
Not really.
So it led up to more.
It was like basically them getting married and then a giant space battle, which I was like, wait, why? How? What?
It was like, what now?
Yeah,
go right to
and like you didn't
the dark
see
side.
Anakin become.
You didn't see him become
Knight.
evil or anything like that, or a Jedi Knight. So.
But
I liked how in the second volume or whatever you would call it of it, it ends where Episode 3 starts off.
Yes, I really liked they did that. They were going to do that for the Clone Wars too, but unfortunately they weren't able to because someone wanted to make Star Wars Rebels really badly.
Disney.
Yep.
I don't like that show.
No, I don't either.
So let's just stick to Clone Wars.
Let's stick to the Clone Wars. Season 1, guys. Let's go.
Season 1.
Rise of the Malevolence.
That was really good.
I was really excited when I found out Season 1 was happening because at first I thought it was just a movie that they're releasing in theaters. I'm like, oh, cool, I get to see a animated Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's the beginning of a TV series.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of weird that they did with Season 1? The events were in the incorrect order. Like, certain characters died and then they reappeared in another episode. Because
that's because they were
just
just doing it different time periods. Cause like
so I don't really think that worked out well. It was kind of confusing. Like, if you go on the internet, they have a site that says basically how to watch Season 1 of the Clone Wars in correct order.
But I don't.
So,
I just like go through it and just like, okay, well.
I don't know. It was kind of confusing and it confused a lot of kids and stuff, you know. But besides that, it was a decent season.
I liked seeing all the different bounty hunters for the ending. Yeah. There was like, you gotta see like.
They definitely introduced all the bounty hunters before, well, Season 2, Rise of the Bounty Hunters.
I liked the Battle for Ryloth though. That was really cool.
Pretty good. I liked that.
Season 2, Battle of Geonosis.
Yes, I really liked that. That was definitely one of the best things they had in that show.
And they had like zombies and everything.
Oh yeah, the zombie episode. That was
really
kind of weird. I didn't understand that.
It was really cool though.
It was cool, yes, definitely.
And then in Season 2, you also saw.
Season 2. Well, let's see. Lots of bounty hunters.
Yeah, because it was basically called Rise of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the
Boba
season.
Fett.
Dead Boba Fett. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the one with Boba Fett. He's trying to get revenge on Mace Windu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do remember those episodes. That was a good little series.
That was before he was older, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to see the Mandalorians actually.
Oh, and they also introduced Grievous in the Clone Wars. You know, before Revenge of the Sith.
I think it makes him look more. It makes him
look like he's a better villain that way because they actually showed more.
Because in episode, like, I understand that all he does is like fight and run, but in episode 3 he hardly did anything. Like he would fight, but then he would like run away.
In episode 3,
in the Clone Wars, he's like more gutsy and he like fights for like an hour or whatever.
In episode 3, he was just kind of like a Transformers villain. You know, they just kind of threw him in there. He's a badass robot with a bunch of arms and a bunch of lightsabers and lasers.
But there was like no backstory. You know? And then the Clone Wars, it was like, oh, well, Grievous was.
But once the Clone Wars came around, there was his backstory, and it was.
Another person that they basically threw in was Darth Maul, and they killed off right away.
That's the thing I didn't like about the prequels.
Until Clone Wars, which they brought him back, which was really cool.
That's what they did for the prequels. It basically made their villains have backstories. And they kind of forgot about that in the actual, like, movies. They just threw them in there like a Transformers villain, just like, hey, they're here, they look awesome, and they got lightsabers.
But Darth Maul, they could have done so much more, but I'm glad they brought him back in the Clone Wars. Because he was like really cool and he took over like Death Watch and everything.
That's what fans can do. Dedicated fans right there. They can bring back.
Imagine how much he would have changed so many of the episodes of Star Wars. Imagine how much that would have changed. Like
what would they have done for season 5 if like Darth Maul like wasn't in it, or like episode 2?
Well, they could have done something for.
They could have had his brother.
Yeah, that's true. They could have just had his brother, but who knows? And then there's
the Night Sisters were really cool because they were like.
When did they introduce them? Season 2, right?
Season 3.
Yeah, I didn't really like 3 and 4 that much. They seem kind of like slow, you know, not much happened. There's too much politics, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was kind of just, hey, I'm Padme Amidala, I'm just going to talk about politics for like hours, and every kid who's watching the show shouldn't really know what's going on.
Probably because when they shot it in that period of time, it was probably like during the elections.
Yeah, it was during the elections. You know what episode I hated? Worst episodes in the entire Clone Wars series by far are easily the episodes of the tea traders, you know, when it poisons the kids. It turned out like the episode was supposed to be called Corruption, but it wasn't even corruption. It was just a bunch of dealers. It was an accident. It was accidental poisoning.
One I did like was when Darth Maul and Savage were going to like all these different like gangster clans, like the Black Sun and the Hutts and the Pikes, and you got to see like a different variety of gangs that were in the Star Wars universe, which is really cool.
Season 4, wasn't that more politics? Season
Yes,
4?
Season 4.
And then they kind of got action-packed as the season.
I liked how they brought the
better.
Zilla Beast, which was kind of like, it was like a Star Wars Godzilla thing, but the Zilla Beast's armor couldn't be penetrated by a lightsaber.
Yeah, I
so.
noticed they really borrowed from movies in Season 4. They had, or not Season 4, Season 3 in like 4. At the end of Season 3, they had the Zilla Beast, which is King Kong, basically.
Godzilla.
And
King Kong, Godzilla.
In
'cause
Godzilla.
He actually had a Godzilla war, I
yeah,
believe.
and then in Season 4, they ripped off Predators at the end.
Yeah,
they had,
I like
the-
that one better though. I mean, that was really cool because I liked how they brought Chewie in.
Yeah, I did
'cause
like
it was
how they threw Chewbacca in there just because Chewbacca, you know?
You're right, it's just like,
that's
you know
really
what?
why they just threw him in there.
We're gonna throw in Chewbacca. Why? Because he's Chewbacca.
Because
and
we
can.
want to. That's what they did in the movies too. They just threw him in there in the prequels, like, hey, let's just throw Chewbacca in there because Chewbacca.
Yeah.
But
Right.
honestly, it works because it's
I also
Chewbacca,
liked
so-
how in seasons 1 through 3.5-ish, the clones were in phase 1, but like after that they were
Oh
in
yeah,
phase
it shows
3
the different
or phase
phases
2.
too. I really like that.
They
It
should
definitely shows the evolution of the clones. And what I liked about season 5, especially, is how in season 5 it showed how like people started to turn against the Jedi and not like respect them anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Like that one.
They started to
that-
focus
that one
more on the
episode
military for
when,
protection.
They had a rogue clone.
Yeah, it kind of really
Yeah.
shows how like everything fell downwards and how Palpatine had the perfect chance to basically take over.
Well, technically speaking, Palpatine had the perfect chance to take over from the begin with, because if you think about it, he was controlling the entire war the entire time.
Yeah,
Because he's both the leader of the Republic.
but he didn't
And
want
the
any
Separatists.
resistance though. So he wanted to wait till like everyone hated the Jedi, and then he'd strike them down, and no one would care because like, hey, it's the Jedi. They're corrupt. Nobody likes them.
Fair point.
Since he had Barriss bomb, the Jedi temple.
Well, he didn't really
basically-
have Barriss bomb it. She pretty much figured out the
Yeah,
Jedi were
Barriss
cooked
did it
to
on
begin with.
herself, but I bet he had influence in it. He
Well,
basically
yeah.
like did that. It's like people would be like, hey, the Jedi aren't so good anymore.
Another
He's
one
starving
that-
people.
Another one that I kind of liked was the Mortis trilogy, because they showed Anakin what he was going to become.
Yeah, I did really like that. That was kind of weird though. It didn't really make much sense, but hey, it was there.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
like the end of season 6.
What about you, Keith? Any?
I don't know. I don't really think I have anything else. To talk about there.
Season 1, the battle for Ryloth was really cool.
Yeah. All I can say is I just wish they continued making it because they're gonna introduce Bad Batch. They're gonna show how some of the clones found out about Order 66 and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna introduce some really cool characters.
You know
but
who'd be good for Bad
no,
Batch?
it all got canceled because of Rebels.
If they didn't die, you know who'd be good for Bad Batch?
Who?
The cadets.
Oh yeah.
The
Cadets
Only
was
one of
the
them
Bad
survived.
Batch.
It was Echo. That was it.
The cadets were the
Echo
Bad
was the
Batch.
only one who survived.
Maybe,
Yes. So
possible.
if you
Well,
guys
they
are
didn't
watching
make that
this, you
one.
remember Echo supposedly died. He actually survived. and was
Maybe.
gonna
Well,
come
they
back.
didn't make those episodes, so technically speaking, he's dead, as far as we know.
True.
So, like,
But Disney can still bring him back if they want to,
yeah,
Which
but
they probably won't because they're Disney and
But
they ruin
they might.
everything. So
and they should.
they should redo Rebels and take influence from season.
Yes, they
from
definitely
Clone
should
Wars.
take influence
Alright.
from the Clone Wars.
do we
in
have
that
anything
show.
else to talk about?
Anything else, guys?
They have large-scale space battles on the Clone Wars. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, that's basically it. Enough said. Large-scale space battles.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. You're
All right,
solid.
Is that it, guys?
Yeah.
Is that it, guys? Yep, I think so.
Don't forget to look for Phil.
Yes, look for Phil the Facehugger.
And we'll see you.
I wonder where that little guy is.
I don't know.
Wait, what about the shout out from last week?
Oh yeah,
and
the shout out to Caitlin. She found Phil the Facehugger first. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, unfortunately, but hey, might as well say it. You won the competition.
And
So
you
good job.
win a free clone blaster.
Yes, that's your prize.
That is your prize.
Good job. People, click the like button below and subscribe. If you haven't watched our last week's video, go check that out because it's still up and the competition's still going.
The
Yep.
link will be in the
So
description.
definitely give us some views. Catch you all later.
See ya.
T-minus 3, 2,
Wait a minute.
1. It's hyper time.
Sci-Fi
Weekly.